What's going on, New York Giants fans? Hit Squad back at it with another video. The New York Giants are going to improve to 8-5-1 on the season, defeating Washington on prime time 20-12. First of all, let me say, what a game by this defense. This defense absolutely won us this game. Um, what a game. This was a classic NFC East game. Okay, hard hitting, tough, nail biting, tight game. I mean, the New York Giants can never make a win easy. They always have my they always have my anxiety through the roof. They can never make this easy. And it's wow, what a game. Kayvon Kayvon Thibodeaux, man. I mean, wow. I mean, this man was everywhere on the field. Everywhere on the field, causing havoc. I hope he's okay with his eye, but man, he was all over the field causing havoc. Having a strip sack, fumble recovery for a touchdown. I mean, he was a difference maker. Really was a difference maker. Dexter Lawrence creating pressure, having a nice strip sack on Taylor Heineke when we needed him to. I mean, this was a good showing by this defense. This defense, especially this defensive line for the New York Giants, showed really what this defense could be. And that's hard hitting, tough. They got to improve in the run game. Shout out Landon Collins. He had some game time today and looked honestly like our best linebacker on the field, which is crazy because he's not a linebacker, but looked absolutely good in this defense. I mean, this defensive line looked stout. Outside of the run game, this defense looked stout. Now, let's be honest here, okay? I don't want to hear Commanders fans, complain about the defensive pass interference at the end. Yes, that could have been called. But hands to the face for Kayvon on that same play could have been called. He has an eye injury now. Dexter Lawrence being held on that same play, that could have been called. I mean, there's a lot of penalties that could have been called. I mean, just not just in that play alone, but throughout the game. Let's be real. I mean, you could even take it back to week 2 of last year. Dexter Lawrence wasn't offside. He timed that jump to perfection. So I mean, I guess you could call it. I guess you could call it fair. I hate to say it, it happens. I'm not one to blame the refs. They're human. They make mistakes. They fuck everyone over. Excuse my language, but they do. It happens. But the New York Giants, I mean, this defense really, really showed up today. I mean, let me just say this really quick, right? The secondary is still pretty bad. Okay, we're really missing Adoree Jackson. We're really missing Xavier McKinney. Hopefully, Adoree Jackson can be active in our game against Minnesota. Hopefully, we can have Xavier McKinney before this playoff stretch. I mean, we're really going to need them because this secondary is very suspect. I mean, Nick McLeod was getting swirled and blended up, by Jahad Dotson just all over the field. I mean, Jahad Dotson was having himself a day. It didn't matter if it was Nick McLeod. It didn't matter if it was Jason Pinnock, who, by the way, I think is looking like a quality player, especially depth-wise at the safety position. But, this secondary was getting toasted. I mean, there was plays out there that, if Taylor Heineke executes on them, they're big chunk plays. But it is what it is. I mean, I really did think that this was a good showing for the defense. Now, for the offense for the New York Giants, let me say this much. I thought Daniel Jones had a solid game. There were instances, okay, because I have to hold him accountable for this. There were instances where I'm saying to myself, that's a bad pass. That was very inaccurate, and he has those. And, it does agitate me from time to time. But I thought he looked confident in the pocket. We didn't see a lot of play action passes, which was nice because it hasn't been working in recent weeks. But the offense, I wish it would have taken more chances downfield. Just me personally, but again, I understand we're working with the talent that we have. The offensive line I thought did fair despite Evan Neal getting two false start penalties. The interior at John Feliciano, not looking too crazy. Excuse me, not looking too good. There was the rotation between Ben Bredesen and Nick Gates at left guard, which our offensive line looked a lot better when Ben Bredesen was in the lineup, which is no coincidence. I mean, Ben Bredesen is a very important piece to this offensive line. And despite everything, despite how I feel about this interior, which I still feel is very suspect, while it is banged up, they they held their own against this Washington defense. I mean, I said it, and I definitely take credit in saying it. Where I said, Washington's defense, they are not one to be overlooked. They could get to the QB. Our interior is very suspect and banged up right now, and their interior is their strength. But at the same time, our offensive line with it holding its own and being injured, with Ben Bredesen being back in the lineup, in my honest opinion, he has to remain in the lineup. With the Zudu being out for possibly, if not, I think he is out for the whole year. I mean, you have to put him in the lineup. The offensive line improved when he was in the lineup. It's no coincidence. Put him in the lineup if he's healthy. And so I mean, I think it was really good seeing that rotation there. But again, they made holes for Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, I'm gonna be honest. I thought he looked good down the stretch when we needed him in the fourth quarter. He essentially was our offense on our last drive. And he went for 18 of 87, one touchdown on the ground. He also was, it's kind of crazy. They put him out at the wide receiver position, or they put him in the slot. And it's like he can catch the ball out of the backfield. Giants fans, including myself, have been saying we got to see this guy more active in the passing game. And it was nice to see, Kafka really wrinkle that in and get Saquon Barkley more involved in the passing game. He had 5 receptions for 33 yards. Richie James, look, I hold my breath every time this man touches the ball. Okay? I hold my breath every time this man touches the ball. But he came up solid for the New York Giants today. I mean, the Giants wide receivers didn't put up crazy stats, but they came up when they needed to. There was some crucial drops in the first half. There were some crucial drops, especially in the second half, but at the same time, these wide receivers, Isaiah Hodgins, Richie James, I mean, they picked up crucial first downs when we needed them to. And I mean, again, it's really nice to see Daniel Jones develop chemistry with these wide receivers because I mean, look, he's playing with threes and fours out there. Maybe a two if you put Slayton in it, but I still think Slayton is a three. He's playing with threes and fours out there, and he's getting it done. I would really, really like to see him with a number one wide receiver. Get me a Jahad Dotson. Get me a Terry McLaurin, please. Because we have no wide receivers like that. We don't have any wide receivers like that got that dog in them. You feel me? That was a big man play that Dotson put on Pinot. But hey, Giants still came out with the dub. Now look, right? This Giants defense can't stop the run for nothing. Okay. I like Jalen Smith. I think the story with Jalen Smith is really nice. He seems like a great guy. He's bad. Jalen Smith is bad, man. I mean, he looks slow. He looks lost out there. Landon Collins looked like our best linebacker out there. And again, he's not even a linebacker. I got to be honest. I've been advocating that the New York Giants have to get a wide receiver in the first round if they if they do decide to keep Daniel Jones, which I do believe that they should. The Giants don't take a wide receiver in the first round, they should absolutely take a linebacker in the first round because our linebackers are bad. They are bad. And I'm not saying it would have been better with Tate Crowder in there. I'm not. But Jesus, they looked bad. I mean, it definitely looked a lot better with Landon Collins in it. That's for sure. But still, I mean, it could not stop the run today. Penalties. Let's talk about that real quick. Penalties are really killing this team. Again, I feel like I say this kind of often. Okay, I'm not gonna get hard on Evan Neal. I'm not. He's a rookie. I think if you look at the progression of Andrew Thomas, if you look outside of the Giants, take Jordan Mailata from the Eagles. Eagles fans will tell you the same thing. Rough rookie seasons, but had flashes of, okay, you could see that if he fixes a couple things, he could be a good tackle in this league, to a very good tackle in this league. Lo and behold, Jordan Mailata, Andrew Thomas, two very good tackles. And I think I think Evan Neal will get to that point. But despite him having a rough game, especially in the passing game, the New York Giants again they held their own. And going against a defense that a lot of people, including myself, were saying is a defense that you can't overlook. They held their own, and our defense was the show. Our defense was the star of the show. Kayvon Thibodeaux, again, the New York Giants have a star on their hands. They have a star on their hands. Now, with Minnesota coming up, a team that is, let's be honest, I mean, they are very Jekyll and Hyde. It's going to be hard if Adoree Jackson's not in this game, considering that Terry McLaurin and Jahad Dotson are one thing. Justin Jefferson is a beast of his own, and Adam Thielen is no scrub either. Okay, and they have other weapons outside of that. We need Adoree Jackson in this game. We absolutely need Adoree Jackson in this game, and I think it's possible that he may be in it. That'd be a nice, that'd be a nice present for Giants fans, especially with Christmas being the next day. I mean, because I would hate to go into Minnesota, man, with Nick McLeod and Fabian Moreau as my corners again. But hey, we're working with what we got, right? Working with what we got. I'm very excited. 8-5-1. It feels good to know that we are facing the playoffs. I mean, and you know what? At the same time, when you look at the season, you got to be very happy with where the Giants are. You have to be happy with where the Giants are. The Giants, we haven't played meaningful football. I know people look at that season where 2020 where we should have went to the playoffs and we didn't. Yeah, but I don't. I try not to disregard it, but since for me it feels like since 2016 we haven't played meaningful football, and it feels really nice to know that we are. And coming out with the dub against the division rival, we really needed this. The New York Giants absolutely needed this. We haven't been winning games outside of the Texas game and tying with Washington. We need to win. We need to stack up these wins. We need to get back to winning. And we were able to get one today. We got ourselves a challenge coming up this week, but feels really good. It feels really, really good. Now, let's hope we could get some players back. Let's hope that Kayvon Thibodeaux's eye is not that serious. Let's hope Evan Neal, because he was limping in the first quarter. Let's hope that that's not too serious. We can't afford to lose him or have that be any way, shape, or form serious. Let's hope that we could get healthy. We're really going to need it. So let me know your thoughts below. If you're new to the channel, join the Hit Squad. We're trying to hit 600 subscribers. Leave a like. Follow us on Twitter. The link is in the description box below. We'll see you guys on the next video.